Thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to talk about pulling details for a truck yard. This is a huge opportunity right now that we see in the market, particularly in the Houston market. So I want to show you guys where I'm going to pull the data from first so you can see where the list actually comes from. The majority of the requests for truck yards basically stabilized land where 18-wheelers can actually park, and there's a trailer or a very small structure about 1 to 3,000 square feet. That's what I'm defining as a truck yard. Most of our requests for those are coming on the east side of Houston. So I'm going to show you the general area here. And this is a broader area, but the Beltway, because it's a major artery, let me go ahead and include Greenpoint as well. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't get a lot of requests on Greenspoint. They exclude that. But between 45 and the toll road is kind of a market. This is a general area, which is very broad, and we're going to narrow that down in a second. Now let's take a quick look at what things would look like if I were to actually look for a truck yard space in this area. So if I pick existing flex space, you know, we got 343 properties here. You can see only a small fraction are actually on the market. The vast majority already are occupied. So let's go ahead and put the 1,000 through 5,000 square feet. Okay, drops down to 91 properties that exist. Only 3 actually on the market. And this just highlights how hard these are to find. Now go ahead and let me put the acreage here as well. Most truck yards are going to be 2 to 6 acres. Okay, so now you see there's nothing on the market here, and only 6 spaces that are actually fit this type of property. And this shows how rare this is. So there are companies that are looking for this type of product, and as you can see with existing properties, there's just not a lot of it. Now when I go ahead and hit the industrial and flex for type of property, that'll bump things up to 161 properties here. So let's go ahead and take a look to see what we have. Okay, so right now I have looked through 161 properties. I didn't want you guys to take the time to obviously go through each one. I want to point out the ones that actually could work, and I will have this report available so that you can, if you want, look at all of these properties one by one through a property report. So when you look at a truck stop like this, these are the type of properties that stand out. Now this is an existing property. Is multi-tenant. Let's go ahead and click on this for more detail. Okay, so you can see the picture here. This is pretty much what I'm talking about. A small structure, 2 to 5,000 square feet size, a large stabilized yard for the trucks, preferably fenced, which would be even better is to have some lighting here as well. But this is a really good example. Relatively low cost to prepare something like this, and it's in high demand. We just can't find them out there, and it's to the point now where I'm calling people that are existing owners to get us to see if we can put offers on property. Let's go back to the result list here. Here's another one. Again, same basic setup. You got a 1 to 3,000 square foot. This one looks a little bit smaller because it's paved. I don't necessarily, I would consider this one exactly. This one could be easily converted to what we want. But again, these truck yards where 18-wheelers going to be able to be stored here, or equipment even. That's something else we've noticed. Big equipment users like equipment rental companies need big yards like this, and they just have a small staff, so they need about 2,000 square feet. So if you put a trailer, and that's very popular to put a trailer on a property, and just have it stabilized with the lighting and fencing. That's the critical part, and you're going to get a lot of demand for options like this. Here's another example. 4137 Banner. It says it's fully leased, 1,300 square feet. Truck terminal, built in 1984. Let's look at some of the images here. That's a great example. Small trailer for your office staff, stabilized yard, probably gravel. I think this is an ideal setup that you can grab. Doesn't take much to stabilize. Put some gravel there so the trucks can go in and out, and have a small structure. Sometimes it's a trailer, sometimes it's a small structure like this, but this is a prototypical example of what I'm talking about, and I challenge you to try to do a search on CoStar, LoopNet, or any systems that you have access to. Try to find a truck yard that fits this criteria, and you'll see how in short supply these actually are. Now, when you look at the community of potential tenants and buyers out there, they're constantly looking for opportunities, even in this market, and I'm talking about in 2016, even in this market with industrial, these smaller guys are looking for opportunities to purchase or do long-term leases. Okay, now I'm back at the search screen here. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take out the 1,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet requirement. Okay, so now you see that there's more land opportunities, potentially 2 to 6 acres, that could work. Let me go ahead and change this industrial to land so we can look at opportunities there. Okay, so in the same area from 2 to 6 acres, there's a lot of available land via listing and also existing properties that could work. Now at this point, what I want to do, because of the just overwhelming amount of potential options on and off the market that we can look at, I'd focus on the areas where we've gotten the most requests. That's near the Port of Houston. It's along the major arteries of Beltway 8. Let me go ahead and click this so we can see it. So we're talking about 610. It's huge, of course. You also have the Beltway 8 is another major artery. People tend to shy away from further northeast. This is a great area near the toll road, the north part of the Beltway. So next step is going to be really isolating targeted searches for land along the areas where we know we have the most truck traffic, where it'll be the most convenient for these type of clients. Okay, so now what I'm doing is just basic corridor searches, and we're going to remove the major search that you see in yellow, and we're going to put ourselves in an opportunity where we're looking at these major corridors so that we can hit all the land opportunities there. Okay, so now that I have the major corridors, I'm going to get rid of this polygon here. Okay, so now we reduced it to about 326. What's great about the corridor searches here, and I might do some other searches just to get in between some of these markets. I still think it's smart to look, especially close to the port in this particular area. That's going to be golden. So that's something that I might expand this. But the corridor searches are helpful because if you're looking at land anyway, you can't go wrong with these major corridors. If you just want to buy and hold, I think stabilizing that land for a truck yard is great. A great option because it's very, very, especially along these arteries here, further along from 610, because you have other uses. You can use that land closer inside toward town. But once you get toward the Beltway and beyond, the demand really starts picking up here for these type of properties. Let me go ahead and fill in this so I can get a good cross section. Okay, so I included the port area as well. So now what we have here is a little bit more than the port also, but I want to make sure we get inside this area. So what we have here now, it says 528 properties. As you can see, a significant part of those are actually on the market that we can look at. A lot of these are not, that we can work through as well. But this is a good cross section of what we can pull from, and I'll put these on a report so that we can methodically kind of sort through these once I have a better idea of what size you want to look at. Maybe a a 5 acre, 2 to 5 acre truck yard. Maybe you want to grab 10 to 20 acres and divide these into multiple truck yard opportunities. Based on that, we'll have a good direction of where to go next. Okay, I'm going to show you one of my clients here, Champions Cartage. These guys have been at this location right here, and this is one of 4 that we're representing right now. And so you can see it's an industrial area. This is the truck yard itself. It's a few acres. I think it's about 4 acres of land here. But this is exactly the type of use we're talking about here. Just a simple fenced area. The land here was lower, a cheaper piece of land. Stabilized, you have gravel. And let's see if you can get a glimpse of the structure back here. And right here you can see the actual working area. So it's just a small, it's larger than a trailer obviously, but building a small structure like that with this amount of land here, it gives guys like this a lot of options, whether they're storing pipe or laying down pipe. Other equipment here, like you can see Woodco with putting material out here. This is what there's a shortage of, people that are supplying items or have equipment that needs to go outdoors that can be stored outdoors, and they need a large amount of land but a small amount of actual office space to operate from. And I guess that's the best way for me to describe it. It's not just the truck yard land type that would be in demand. It's whoever's looking for just less than 5,000 square feet of actual office space, but they are looking for a disproportionate amount of land, like 4 to 5 acres. That's where the opportunities are right now. For sale, you can't find these either. I mean, you have people lining up. Clients like this. I have another one. Let me see if I can pull them up quickly. So here's another client that we have here. We just closed on a $1.3 million deal for these guys, citywide equipment rental. Now, this isn't a truck yard, but these guys have to store, let's see if I can zoom out so you can see it. These guys have to store a large amount of material behind this structure here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get a bird's eye view. Okay, so we're going to try the zoom in this way. So as you can see here, this is where we were looking before, or I know it was this street actually. So we were on this street here, looking at the center, but this is a large amount of land that they needed. Now they needed a little bit more office space. They needed about 4,000 square feet of office space, but the acreage they ended up taking up, I'm going to show you where we ended up moving them to. So this is where they are. This is where they were. Okay, and this is where we just closed, 2610 Spring Cypress. So when you look at this property here, also pretty decent sized office setup here, but look at the acreage back here. This is about 4 to 5 acres of land. These guys are storing granite that we purchased the property from, granite and I think tile, various types of tile. They have a small shed back here as well that this particular equipment company can use, and they'll probably upgrade, but the land goes all the way back here. They were considering even looking at getting additional land as well. So again, these type of opportunities are out there. I just wanted to give a good example of what type of deals these what these deals look like. So thanks for watching. If you want more details, you want the reports that we pulled, I saved this survey so I can show you all of those options, and we can narrow it down. I know we picked several hundred to kind of work our way from, but that list will get a lot smaller once I actually have details of what your appetite is, and we can kind of take the search on from there. So again, thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.